Hello and welcome to CLMB's Cracked Knuckle Productions. My name is Chris, and today I want to show you a little bit more on the map that I've been working on. So, one thing that you'll see in this video is the coast that I'm working on. Essentially, I've given myself a fairly nice outline that I'm hoping to be following for this whole project, which you see in pink. And I've actually completed the first version, or first iteration, and really just wanting to add more depth and character to the landscapes. One thing that's I'm challenging myself to do is that each of those squares that you see is approximately 1 to 1 or 1 kilometer in height and length, or 1 square kilometer. And so when you see these little bays and these little outcroppings into the ocean, I'm able to kind of visualize, okay, so that's 1 kilometer or 600 meters or half a kilometer. And it's something that I think is really helpful when you're working with scales of the world. And how do we really understand what it is that we're drawing? And even this, it helps me understand a little bit of what it is that I am creating. And for example, I know that in my walks I often will walk around 5 kilometers, and so just kind of general outline I can see, okay, so if I count these 5 squares, that's about as much as that I usually walk in a day. Just for fun and for exercise, I can walk a lot more if need be. And so people living in this world, how will they be interacting with this? Are my cities going to be spaced out 100 kilometers from each other? No, that's probably not very realistic in some ways, when in reality it might be more about 8 kilometers between each city, or 5 miles. And so trying to in this second iteration, giving more detail to this map that I'm creating. So that if you are interested, one of the things that I'm working on right now is in my first iteration of the map, I called this country Izdrashi. And Izdrashi is, in some ways, think Northern Europe, German influence. And in the book story that I'm putting together, to be honest, I haven't really written much, so I can't really call it a book. But what I've kind of thought up is it's a maybe more Scandinavian-ish type country, and it's a very rocky plain with kind of some fjords, the coastal fjords, but it would be in the sea, the water, that the white spots that we're seeing are essentially similar to the Mediterranean Sea. And so a very important body of water in the world of Aliadur. And so it's a bit of a mixture of northern Scandinavia, Germany, plus Mediterranean, but with kind of a rocky coastland. So maybe just kind of in my small knowledge of Europe, maybe similar to Greece and Turkey, the Adriatic, and seeing the rocky formations that form a lot of those islands. And so I call them fjords just because they're kind of deep rivulets that go inland. It will be kind of not always a gentle slope, but very sudden and abrupt along a lot of this coastline, although there will be some major cities and things like that that I'm hoping will be seen throughout. But yeah, Ezdrashi is a very warlike country in my setting, and they've continued to push to the western part of the world map, and so right now we're not really there. This is essentially the middle part of their midwest section of their country. But yeah, that's what we see here. So one of the things that I really enjoy being able to do is just putting together all the small little land masses and things like that as I'm working on filling in the continent. Where are these little islands that you might be off the coast? And being from California, we have the Channel Islands, a number of small islands that are prominent off Santa Barbara and Los Angeles kind of area. And it's something that I've never actually been to, but I would love to be able to go and see and explore the Channel Islands. I don't know if I ever will, but it would be kind of a fun thing to be able to do. I think the other thing that I like about these little islands, kind of by the mouths of these rivers, is I went to France, and I went to the Mont Saint-Michel, and I really enjoyed being able to go there, and just the idea that the sea and the fortress, church, all right there, just a really beautiful place. If you rewind a little bit, you'll see that I kind of zoomed out for a second, and that was because I was wanting to make sure that I was understanding where these the body of water that I was working on, and it was indeed what I thought. It's one of the inlets to another inland sea, possibly similar to the Caspian. Again, this particular area does take a heavy influence on the Mediterranean. It's an inland sea that is connected to another set of seas. And although the Mediterranean connects to the Atlantic and then to the Indian Ocean via the Nile, that's not the correct, the Suez Canal. This, in my world, rather than connecting from, I guess, east to west, it connects from east to north. And so, again, if you look back, you'll see that the white section heads up north, and there's another set of tributaries and rivers that lead to a greater body of water up north. And trying to figure out how that is, I know that for the most part, rivers don't actually flow in two directions, but there are actually, I've heard a few. Anyways, that is the video for today, and I hope that you've been able to enjoy it. Thank you. Bye-bye.